All right, so factoring practice here. First one, what we're going to do for this one is Gcf factoring. You always want to do Gcf factoring if you can. Looking at the number 3 and 12, we're going to pull out a 3. So the Gcf is 3, and then we got x squared and x to the third. We're going to pull out an x to the squared, and then a y and a y squared. We're going to pull out a y. And that's your Gcf. Then when you factor it out, you want to divide the Gcf into both of the terms. We're going to go ahead and do that. So both terms get divided by the Gcf, which is 3x squared y. And here, everything cancels out, so we get 1 minus, for this one, 3 goes into 12 4 times. X squared goes into x to the third x times. And y over y, that would be y squared over y would be a y. So that's your answer, and then write the Gcf on the side. And that's factored out. All right, number 2, we have x squared minus x minus 20. There's no Gcf. This is one of those where we're going to set it up as 2 parentheses. Find 2 numbers that multiply to negative 20 and add up to negative 1. That would be x and x. And then we got minus 5 and plus 4. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. Number 3, this one we have to set it up again. Find 2 numbers that multiply to 1 and add up to 9. That's not going to happen. So this polynomial is just prime, meaning there's no way to factor that out. Number 4, this one we have a perfect square and a perfect square. So we're going to go ahead and factor that out. That's one of those where you're going to have a plus and a minus. And this is going to be 6y squared times 6y squared. That's going to go first in each parenthesis. And here we have 5x and 5x. That's going to go second in each parenthesis. And then we factored that out completely. Number 5. So this is one where I taught you guys 2 methods to do this yesterday. We're factoring by grouping. We want to find 2 numbers that multiply to the product of 2 and negative 3, which is negative 6, and adds to the middle one, which is 5. The 2 numbers that multiply to negative 6 add to 5. That would be 6 and negative 1. So then we're going to set it up as 2x squared plus 6x minus 1x minus 3. Then you're going to use a grouping technique. So here we're going to group. We're going to group, so we're going to factor out the 2x. And we have x plus 3. And here we're going to factor out the minus 1, and then we end up with x plus 3. And again, should have the same thing in each parenthesis. So we have 2x minus 1, and then x plus 3. And that's factored out completely. Number 6, we actually have the difference of perfect squares. Because that's x to the 4th times x to the 4th, and that's 1 times 1. So that would be x to the 4th plus 1, x to the 4th minus 1. That's factored out completely. However, this, we can factor some more. That's going to be x squared times x squared, 1 times 1. So we have x squared plus 1, x squared minus 1. And then these 2 factors are done. But we can factor this guy out some more, and that's going to factor to x plus 1 and x minus 1. So this one factors out a while yet, so you got to keep looking to see if each factor can factor out some more. And last one I want to talk about is where you have perfect squares at the end. So you got starts with a perfect square and finishes with a perfect square. So 25x squared plus, let's do 49y squared. And then in the middle, we would have would be 35xy, I believe. If I'm doing this right. Yep. So this is going to factor, since you got a perfect square first and last, that's 5x times 5x. This is 7y times 7y. So when you set it up, you've got 5x plus 7y plus 7y. So you get 25x squared plus 35. Okay, sorry, this was supposed to be a 70xy. So you get 25x squared, 35xy plus 35xy, 70xy plus 49y squared. So that one would factor out nicely, assuming that this middle term were 70xy.